Monsieur le ministre, merci d'avoir accepté notre invitation. Votre présentation reflète ce que nous entendons ces jours-ci. Je dois vous avouer que nous entendons parler de la France partout comme étant un partenaire de choix, un partenaire incontournable pour faire des affaires en Europe, faire des affaires dans le monde. Alors, on est très honoré d'être ici à Paris avec vous et merci encore pour votre présence. Mon nom est Nicolas Rémiard, je suis le chef de la direction du Forum économique international des Amériques. Mon accent me trahit quelque peu, je suis Canadien et en étant un bon Canadien, je vais m'exprimer dans la langue de Molière et la langue de Shakespeare aujourd'hui. Alors, thank you for everybody joining us from abroad, from Canada, the United States, everywhere in the Americas, everywhere in the world. Those that are viewing us live on live streaming of the IFA. Merci à tous vous autres qui êtes avec nous aujourd'hui en présentiel. Merci à tous nos partenaires. Merci à nos deux coprésidents du Bureau des gouverneurs, Jean-Pierre Clamadieu, M. Paul Desmarais Jr. Alors, mes chers amis, profitez de ces 2 jours de conférence, rencontrez des gens intéressants, profitez pour ceux qui sont avec nous, qui peuvent profiter du salon RBC, le salon VIP, profitez-en. Profitez du salon des participants, il va y avoir un volet culturel. Je pense que c'est jusqu'à 8 heures, à 20 heures que le salon est ouvert. Et écoutez, on behalf of Gilles Rémiard, our founding chairman, Marie Dupont, M. Paul Desmarais Jr., Frank Holder, the Integra Group, welcome. Enjoy the next few days. If there's anything we can do to make your stay more profitable, please let us know. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Et mesdames et messieurs, le moment le plus important pour moi aujourd'hui, c'est de vous présenter quelqu'un très important pour le Forum des Amériques, Jean-Pierre Clamadieu, qui est le président du conseil de Engie, mais comme je vous l'ai mentionné, pour aujourd'hui, ce qui est encore plus important, c'est le coprésident de notre bureau des gouverneurs, M. Clamadieu.
Merci beaucoup Nicolas. Chers participants, je suis heureux de partager quelques remarques au début de cette 7e édition de la conférence de Paris, dont vous voyez le titre que nous avions choisi avec Nicolas et Paul Desmarais il y a quelques mois, Bridging the Divide. Et je crois que nous sommes particulièrement heureux et je tiens à remercier l'OCDE pour son hospitalité puisque nous sommes ici dans un endroit qui incarne la coopération économique entre nos démocraties et je pense que c'est le meilleur lieu possible ici à Paris pour mener 2 jours d'échange et de partage. Je vais alors moi tenter une synthèse entre la langue de Shakespeare et l'accent de Molière. Et I will continue in English. And when I see the diversity and the level of the 2,000 participants that we have gathered here for the conference with 77 countries represented, I'm confident, that every one of the 20 panels that are scheduled today and tomorrow will produce rich and insightful exchanges into the issues that we are set to address. We decided, as I mentioned, this title 6 months ago, and it seems today that the divide is even larger and more difficult to bridge. 2023 has been shaken by major shifts and tension on the international stage and beyond. War is in Europe and in the Middle East, bringing us unbearable images of pain and suffering, with limited ability today to predict the outcome of this crisis. But I would like to focus in these remarks on a subject which is for me and for Engie and probably for most of us the absolute priority, which is climate change. We are facing today the biggest challenge that humanity has ever encountered, and we are unfortunately more divided than ever. At a time when alignments of efforts would be necessary, we see countries and government moving apart, North versus South, rich versus poor, and in a growing number of democracies, we see bitter international divisions, which makes it even more difficult to build the consensus which is needed to develop effective solutions. Obviously, this week is an important week when it comes to climate change because this is the week of the opening of the COP28 in Dubai, and a number of participants in this conference will be traveling to Dubai either to negotiate for the government representative or to support the overall complex processes which will allow, hopefully, this COP to achieve some results. But as usual, at the eve of any COP, expectations are pretty low and the mood is gloomy. But it is absolutely necessary that we come to Dubai with a willingness to make or to support some progress which I am convinced are within our reach. As usual, energy transition will be one of the most important issues discussed during these 2 weeks. Security of supply, energy access, competitiveness, decarbonization. The energy transition is at the heart of today's most burning challenges. At ENGIE, we aim to be catalyst for positive change for people and the planet, contributing to build the right bridges to accelerate the energy transition. In the current context, I am convinced that it is imperative to demonstrate that the energy transition is feasible, accessible, and desirable for all. Feasible. The vast majority of our greenhouse gases emission today can be addressed with existing technologies. We are not looking for technology breakthrough. We are going for investment and scale-up of existing solutions. Accessible, mostly thanks to renewable energies that are now cost competitive, despite the difficulties that we see here and there, because the renewable industry is indeed going through major growth, and when you are in such a trajectory, you indeed need to face challenges. But again, renewable is there, and it will lead to cost competitive production of energy. And last word, desirable, because we must not only protect ourselves from the impact of climate change, but we need to implement this energy transition in a way which takes into account the impact on the various stakeholders, households, but also industries. We can't leave anyone behind. At ENGIE, we promote a balanced energy mix founded on the alliance of electron and green molecules to ensure a reliable, resilient, and affordable transition. It is crucial in this context that public actors support this change by providing adequate regulation and support. We must embrace a collaborative effort between government, industries, and communities to achieve this sustainable and inclusive energy future. Collaboration is key. Tackling shared challenges required forging meaningful international partnerships. I strongly hope that the COP will bring cohesion and new impetus to accelerate the energy transition. And in this gloomy environment, the fact that US and China have announced a few weeks ago their willingness to cooperate on climate-related issues is indeed a very strong signal. Together we are stronger. It's an old motto that has proven its veracity. ENGIE is keen to play its part to bridge the divide and build the necessary coalitions. Industry-specific coalitions like the green cement or green steel, regional coalitions, commitment on specific issues like methane emission reduction or coal are a powerful way to accelerate this transformation. We are also a signatory of a pledge to triple renewable capacity and double energy efficiency by 2030. We think that this could be indeed one of the meaningful conclusions of this COP28. Et pour terminer en français, moi je voudrais simplement encourager tous les participants à cette conférence à s'engager activement dans les discussions durant ces 2 journées, à partager des idées et à explorer toutes les opportunités de collaboration au cours de cette conférence. And just to conclude in English, I would really like to thank you very much for your participation and hope that you will have indeed fruitful 2 days here in Paris at the OECD. Thank you very much.